What's good, YouTube? It's your boy Jar Hoops, and I am finally back with another upload, man. In today's upload, the topic is Brandon Ingram. All right, we all know that Brandon Ingram has been in a lot of trade rumors here lately, and I'm here to tell you guys why. From just for starters, you know what I'm saying, I am a big fan of Brandon Ingram. Brandon Ingram is actually my favorite Pelican, and I've been liking Brandon Ingram since 2017, since he's been drafted. You know what I'm saying? Since he's been drafted, he has had comparisons to Kevin Durant himself, which is my favorite basketball player of all time. So that alone right there, you know, tells you a lot why I like Brandon Ingram. He just has an amazing game. You know what I'm saying? He can score at all levels of the court. He's a 3-level scorer. He could improve a little bit on the defense. Obviously, you know, he isn't as big as other forwards, but he is very skilled on offense. But he could definitely, you know, touch up on the defense maybe. But he still has a lot of value. You know what I'm saying? He isn't really that old, still in his 20s. Still got a lot to offer. I think he can make a team better out there. I just don't know which team. But the New Orleans Pelicans, I guess they hosted like a optional mini camp for the team, and Brandon Ingram was one of 2 Pelicans not to show up. And a lot of people, you know, found this and blew it up somehow, made it to where they're making it seem like Brandon Ingram did this on purpose. He don't like the team and whatnot, which could very much be the case, but you can't assume that right now. You know what I'm saying? He could have family issues, and it did say optional. You know what I'm saying? So Brandon Ingram probably like, you know what, I'd rather just not go. It is an optional mini camp. He got his own personal trainer he could probably go train with. But that was one bad sign from Brandon Ingram, you know, him not showing up to the mini camp. But it wasn't like he was the only Pelican that didn't show up. But the reason why people did make this a big deal is because in the past, Brandon Ingram was the type of player, the type of leader of the team to, you know, organize the mini camps for the team and show up to every mini camp. So the fact that he didn't show up to this mini camp was a little odd, and that's why it kind of turned heads like, oh shit, like Brandon Ingram might really be on the move. You know what I'm saying? Like, this is signs of friction between him and the organization. Like I said, Brandon Ingram is at odds with the organization in the front office. Regarding his new contract, Brandon Ingram was eligible for a new contract this summer. It was I can't remember the details, but he was eligible for a big max contract, and New Orleans was kind of, you know, hesitant to offer Brandon Ingram the max contract. Which, in my defense, in the Pelicans, like if I was the Pelicans, bro, I mean, I'm not gonna lie, I would feel the same way because he did not show up in the playoffs. Brandon Ingram just did not look like Brandon Ingram in the playoffs. I know Zion Williamson was injured, you know, against the OKC Thunder in the first round, but Brandon Ingram did not show up, and he did not look like Brandon Ingram in the playoffs. I feel like the Pelicans, you know, with Brandon Ingram playing like Brandon Ingram, they could have had a little bit of a chance in that first round against OKC, but he did not look nowhere near like Brandon Ingram. Okay, but yeah, man, it is not looking good for Brandon Ingram. You know what I'm saying? Bad postseason, and then you got trade rumors this summer after. The Pelicans did just acquire DeJounte Murray as their point guard. And once they acquired DeJounte Murray, that's when I started thinking in my head, like, okay, they might move Brandon Ingram because, having Brandon Ingram, CJ McCollum, Zion Williamson, and DeJounte Murray and not winning and overpaying all these guys is just not the right move. So, if I'm the Pelicans, I would move Brandon Ingram and try to get the most value out of him as I can. And I feel like you can get volume out of Brandon Ingram because, like I said, he can score the ball. A lot of teams need a scorer out there. And I feel like he got a lot of service to, you know, bring to teams. So, yeah, man, Brandon Ingram looked like he on the move. The Pelicans do have Trey Murphy, Herbert Jones. They got guys that can fill in that 2 spot, 3 spot. You know what I'm saying? They got people that can fill in Brandon Ingram's spot. So I just think, like, it's the perfect time for Ingram to go. I think on both sides, it's time for Brandon Ingram to go. I just don't know where. You know what I'm saying? I don't want Brandon Ingram to just, you know, go downhill from here, but, you know, I just don't see that happening. You know, young guy, you know, can score the ball, like I said. I just don't know where he could fit. You know what I'm saying? I feel like it's a lot of sleeper teams. I know Sacramento, before they got DeMar DeRozan, they had interest. I've heard Rockets. We all know that the Rockets is in, you know, they got young talent, but they kind of want to win now. You know, we heard, you know, rumors about Rockets trying to go after KD. So the Rockets could be a sleeper team to try to swing for a Brandon Ingram trade. I heard the Spurs, but I don't know who the Spurs will give up. That wouldn't make too much sense. We all know that Miami has been needing somebody for a while now. You know, if they could somehow Don't know how. That's not realistic. But if Miami could find a way to get Brandon Ingram, that would be nice. They'll probably need a third team because there's no way New Orleans would Tyler Hero. You know, once they already got DeJounte Murray and CJ McCollum. So yeah, man, I don't know exactly where Brandon Ingram fits. Me personally, if I had to pick a personal spot, I would say Golden State. Okay, y'all know how I personally wanted Paul George to sign with Golden State, but it was no real way for that to happen this summer. So it didn't happen, and Paul George ended up going to Philly with Joel Embiid and Tyrese Maxey. But I feel like Brandon Ingram to Golden State will be a nice fit because, like I said, he's kind of like a KD. He's just gonna be there to score the ball, and yeah, that's kind of what the Golden State Warriors just really need. They just need more firepower. You know, they also need a big man. You know what I'm saying? They also need a serviceable, serviceable big man. They got Kevon Looney. 6'9", a little on the short side for a center, and then they also got the other young guy over there. So I feel like, yeah, Brandon Ingram wouldn't be bad next to Draymond Green and Steph Curry. I don't know if Draymond Green and Steph Curry would approve of this trade, because we seen how Brandon Ingram played in that playoffs. Like, he didn't show us, the potential that we all know that he has. You know what I'm saying? He just didn't look like Brandon Ingram. Just kind of like Darius Garland. Him and Darius Garland had some rough playoffs, you know what I'm saying? So a lot of people are gonna forget about those guys. They gotta show us again who they are and what they can do. What's their max? What's their ceiling? Because that playoffs was just horrendous. I didn't like what I seen from Brandon Ingram. I want to see Brandon Ingram go out there. I'm like, okay, Zion out the lineup. Brandon Ingram has to step up, and he didn't step up. So I feel like, yeah, man, Brandon Ingram got a lot to prove, and if he is gonna stay on the Pelicans this year, along with DeJounte Murray, CJ McCollum, and Zion Williamson, you get that starting five. That starting five is top notch. You know what I'm saying? They did lose Valanciunas, so I don't know who exactly their center is. But you look at that starting lineup of DeJounte Murray at the point guard, CJ McCollum at the 2 guard, Brandon Ingram at the 3, and Zion at the 4. That's 4 legit guys, you know what I'm saying, that are very reliable basketball players. And all could be like second or third options on other teams. So I think Pelicans is a deep sleeper team in the West, but the West is stacked, y'all. You know what I'm saying? The West is very stacked. Y'all see I didn't have the Pelicans in my top 5 for the West because I just don't think that they're better than a lot of teams. I think they're still down there with, LA and Golden State. They down there with them type of teams. I just think they got to stay healthy. We all know that Zion has a bad reputation and a bad history of injuries. Brandon Ingram, not so much, but he has, some injury, history. CJ McCollum is more healthy, probably the most healthy out of the 3. DeJounte Murray is pretty healthy. So, you know what I'm saying? I feel like this team has potential. It's just all up to Zion Williamson. But yeah, man, it's all about if Zion Williamson can stay healthy and show us that he's that best player on the Pelicans and that he can lead the Pelicans, to the finish line. So that's gonna wrap it up for this video, man. If you guys have any idea or any preferable spots for Brandon Ingram to land, please comment down below and let me know where would you want to see Brandon Ingram go. Where could Brandon Ingram go to win? You know what I'm saying? Y'all let me know down below in the comments that I personally think Golden State would be a nice fit. Miami could be a good fit, but I want to hear you guys' opinions, so please let me know down below in the comments. Smash the like button if you enjoyed today's video. I love you guys. See you in the next one. You dig?